What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 in my Hardcore Mystics only. Now, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, if I wanted to stay in Chaos 1 for a bit, or if I wanted to move up. I decided, I'm just going to go ahead and move up. I don't think it's going to be too terribly painful breaking into Chaos 2. So let's just go ahead and give it a whirl here. So we're on Chaos 2 Greystone Plaza, and let's see what we can do. One of the reasons I chose this map is when you look at it, you've got 4 lanes. You've got 1 lane there. You've got 1 lane here that includes flyers. 1 lane over there, and then you've got 1 lane up top that includes flyers as well. So with that in mind, we're going to have 250 DU per lane to spend, which is fairly generous for the Mystic, as, most of the defenses are not super expensive. So let's see what we can do. We'll go ahead and we'll wall it up. And what else do we want to do? So after we spent, that gives me 240 per lane to spend. So what do we want to do for 240? Well, we've got, 30 spent. If we went with 3 snakes, that would be 120 spent. So still got a little ways to go. Now, I would be using, a lot of people have been asking me why I haven't been using more Serpent's Coils, and the reason being is I don't have a Deadly Strikes for it yet, and the range on these is just god-awful. In fact, the strong point about the Serpent's Coils is their ridiculous range. So we're going to go ahead and get a couple of them in on this lane, though. And then we're going to have cyborgs on this one. Still going to throw some sand traps down. Those sand traps will get disabled, of course, but hopefully they go off a couple times before they do. Let's see. How do we want to do this one? I think here we can basically do the same thing. We're going to go 3 snakes. I'm a little bit concerned about the flyers here. I'm not really sure if we want to put, any coils on this one. I mean, that is just going to get destroyed. You know what? Let's put it there anyway. Let's just put 1 coil there, and then we'll go with, let's go with a snaking sand there, and then, like, right there. Now, this top lane here will be the most challenging for sure, but on the same note, it's relatively easy to deal with. If you just get a little upfront damage in. So we do have a couple of nice places here. We can go, like, over here on top of this. Hopefully that's not going to get destroyed. And then I think for here, I will wall it, like, down here. Let's throw a wall, like, right there, and then I can throw some snakes in this way. Let's go. Let's actually go like that. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll throw a couple of sand traps in. Now, as you see, I've seriously underspent. So, I mean, we can throw quite a bit more down here. We got 1 more lane to build, but I've got, 390 DU left. So, have definitely did some underspending here. Let's get that up there. I think this lane will be able to get a little more upfront damage in. And then maybe even use that as kind of a target dummy for the dive bombers. Let's do that. We'll grab a couple of sand traps in, and then what else? I mean, I feel like we can do more over here. Can actually go something like that, and that will kind of double dip on both of those lanes to get a little bit more upfront damage, and that will help out with the flyers a touch as well. That leaves me 80 left. I feel like I'm just really, really heavy on DU here. You can go up here as well, but the problem is the flyer aggro is going to be near instant. I mean, let's go something like that and just see what happens. So a lot of this, without a doubt, will get destroyed. Some of it will last, but let's see how it goes. And I think for the starting wave, we'll just dump our extra mana into the obelisk. Let's let it fly here and see what we get. So, of course, we're going to have to focus on just watching the mini-map and seeing what's going wrong. Tough to look at all the lanes at the same time on this one. It's actually going fairly smooth. Now, this is with that Chaos 1 Go-Boo Boom Relic. Forgot to show that, but I'll show it here after the wave. And that is doing most of the work. And, I mean, hell, so far so good. Now, our first flyer over here is a dive bomber. Alright, it went into the wall, which is a good thing. And not into any of my towers. We will take that. Actually going ridiculously smooth compared to what I was expecting. I was expecting the cyborgs to make it to the walls. So yeah, that went real good. We will take some of that. Now obviously that's just the first wave. Let's get a few upgrades in over here. Try to get this up front killing doing a little bit more. One more upgrade on the obelisk. We'll throw a few here. Throw a couple throughout here. And alright, let's see if we continue to have this similar experience here. And I forgot to show the relic. Dang it. I will remember at one of these points. It actually doesn't have a second useful mod on it. So I didn't bother doing anything with it, really, as I was hoping for something better, of course. But yeah, it just doesn't have a second useful mod. Plaguing Hawk rolling on out. The cyborgs are coming down and they're stunning those sand traps, but they're just not really causing a major problem so far. Well, let's get on this Plaguing Hawk over here. Actually, looks like it's taking a good bit of damage. Yeah, Plaguing Hawk down. So there we go. We got some Chaos 2 gear dropping now, which is lovely to see. This is the relic I was talking about. So that hardened servo isn't doing any... Oop, wrong one. I got hardened servo on both of them. Look at that. The hardened servo isn't really doing anything. So, I mean, it's there. But just all about the shards. Defense rate, destruction, deadly strikes, and of course, Go-Boo Boom is just carrying. Even you see 3 out of 10 quality, you see it's doing 50,450 as area damage, depending on the enemy type. But if you look at even just a, this one's been upgraded once, this is attacking for 8,000 non-crit. So, I mean, when Go-Boo Boom cracks off, it is doing a lot of damage. Let's see, we're going to have a boss up here again. Oh no, we got a cannon ogre this time. Alright, this is the problem. Alright, so the one thing that could get me. The old cannon ogre. Now, of course, if I lose that sub-objective over there, it's not the end of the match. It just opens up another lane. But I'm hoping I'm able to get that cannon ogre dealt with. We will find out. You know, in fact, maybe right as it comes out, I'll drop a Call to Madness there. And then I've got my stun on my kitty cat as well with the pet ability there. Sparkle Party for the win. All right, here comes the Cannon Ogre. Let me actually hide over here. All right, he's on his friends. Ooh, no, he is in my face. All right, we are in deep trouble here. He's taking the wall out over there now. I never Sparkle Partied him. Okay, wall down. It looks like we actually got him. Alright, so that worked out, even though it was god-awful ugly. What do we got this time? We got a Shaper this time. Let's throw a couple of upgrades in over here since I've been kind of ignoring this area. Alright, we got enough left. We'll just throw a wall upgrade on. And we got a Skelly over here. Just let it fly. The Shaper is going to be a little squishier, so that one won't be as much of an issue here. This map, you don't see many people doing it, but like way back in the day, this was one of the go-to maps as far as like an easy map to, you know, to get up to the next tier or whatever. Like back in the Nightmare days. There was a lot of Nimbus spam with the Dryad. You would completely enclose this entire area with trees and then just spam a bunch of Nimbus here in the middle. That was a super fun turtle build on this map. Of course, it made it take forever to run. Alright, so we got a Plaguing Hawk. That one is going to take a moment to get out. Let's just work on the Shaper here. Alright, Shaper down. Plaguing Hawk is up on the wall. Let's go ahead and Sparkle Party him. Alright. So that went incredibly smoothly. Let's see. We got another Skelly. And we're going to have a Siege Roller there. And we got a Doggo there. Alright, let's just let it fly. I think we're going to be good on this one. The Siege Roller, of course, is going to be a little tankier. I'm not going to get that Dagger 1-tap like we were getting in Chaos 1. But I should still be able to put a hurting on him pretty quickly. We'll just call the Madness that area for a moment. Alright, I think we need to worry about the dog first. Alright, Doggo down. We'll do the Siege Roller last, since it's going to move the slowest. Actually, that guy's not even out yet. Yeah, nice shot on that dagger there. There we go. And we got us a fancy Chaos 2 one. Sadly, it's with Water Chip. Not what I was looking for. Alright, there we go. So, pretty smooth transition into Chaos 1. The key here, I think, is just remember, or pardon me, Chaos 2. I the key here is it's all about cyborgs. So, like, you know, the meta, like in Chaos 1, is just to spam auras down a lane. If you spam auras down a lane in Chaos 2, then of course they're going to get disabled. So, switch up the defenses you use and get the easy win, and that's what we got right there. But anyway, let's check out the loot and see what that did for our champion score here. Alright, let's see what we got. Now, first things first, we got some shards. Concussive Chi is no good. Sentry Rocket is no good. We got some crafting materials, of course. Hopefully we got a nice little relic upgrade here, but it doesn't appear that we did. Now, you can, of course, upgrade your relic yourself if you want to do that. Now, I've got a super low roll on this one. Of course, I could re-roll that main stat too, but the deal with this relic that I've been using is it just doesn't have anything else to go with it. So nothing really good to add in with it, and looking around at the mods that dropped, nothing really incredible there. Now you see the difference in value. A 3 out of 10 Chaos 2 Go Boom is 86,000 area damage, depending on any enemy type, where a 3 out of 10 Chaos 1 is only 50,000. So it is a big jump in mod quality when you go up. But let's see what it did for our champion score. We will just auto-equip on our Waller here. Took us all the way to 746. That's a pretty big jump, for sure. Now, we got to get to 1,050, but that was definitely a real nice champion score jump. But anyway, there we go, y'all. Chaos 2 in the bag. So we will have to do a couple more Chaos 2 runs, and then we'll be able to move on up to Chaos 3. Now, Chaos 3 I want to get to, the reason being is right now what I need is Deadly Strike Shards. Those are going to drop in Chaos 3, so that is where I want to get to as soon as possible. But anyway, that will get it for now. Thanks an absolute ton for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Take it easy.